You ready? What's going on, everybody? Ryan Holder Outdoors here with you. Got my little sidekick with me, Wild Man. And I'm sitting out here in the yard on a beautiful July day. It's actually not too terribly hot or humid, so I figured it was a good day. Go ahead and get the July Tackle Talk video out the way for you all. Great month for Ryan Holder Outdoors. We did a decent amount of fishing. Some of the fishing was at the same spot and same couple ponds as you're gonna start seeing. I dropped one of the videos the other day, but we did a lot of camping this past month. So I was able to fish at the ponds that were at the campground where we stayed at. So I didn't get out on the yak as much this month, but I was actually thankfully still able to get some fishing done at the ponds that were at the campground, which I've never had a lot of luck in. And this month I actually was on to them, kind of got them figured out each time we went. There was a couple different evenings that I was able to catch baits on the same baits in a couple different evenings. So that was good. So anyway, so like I said, July turned out to be a really great month for us, surprisingly. Especially, I'm not a big bank fisherman. I'm not a big pond fisherman. I will do it. I enjoy doing it. I just never have a lot of luck catching bass when I do it. That's my problem with it. But I don't mind going with my buddy SP fishing. He's got a couple private ponds we go to time and time again. And like I said, when we go camping, sometimes I'm not always able to take the yak because I got to tow the camper. So anyway, but that's it. So thank y'all for tuning in. This is July's Tackle Talk video for July 2026. We'll go ahead and get started. We'll start with my favorite, and probably most people's favorite, is Topwater. If you've tuned in before to the Tackle Talk videos, you'll see I'll go over the rod, reel, line, and the bait setup that I caught the fish on. So this isn't going to be in any particular order because a lot of this was done in the early part of July, so I can't remember like fish on first. But I know first part of July, this is a Spro popping frog. This is a black and blue. I have the whatever they call these tassels on the ends. I got these trimmed up a little bit, but it's a popping frog made by Spro. Pretty soft hook. I actually haven't caught a bass on a frog in a long time. So these two fish I caught on this frog back to back, same pond, same morning, was the first two fish I've caught it on in a while. I caught it on my Halo, my favorite rod, my Halo XD3 Pro rod here. This is a medium heavy 7'3". I have it spooled with 30-pound braid. I have my favorite reel, my favorite all-time reel, the Shimano SLX XT. This is the 150XG model. This is also the 8:2:1 gear ratio. So that's always my Topwater setup. If you've watched enough of these, you know this is my Topwater rod and reel and line setup. Just the bait month to month is different. While at the campground pond, also my go-to, if this isn't your first Tackle Talk, you know this, but this is the Rebel Pop-R made by Rebel. This is the Foxy Mama color. This is one of my all-time favorite go-to Pop-Rs. Affordable, you know, $5-6 for this Pop-R, I believe. I think you can actually buy this in a 3-pack off Amazon for like $15. So this is the Foxy Mama by Rebel Pop-R. Again, I had it on that same setup I just told you, the Halo XD3 Pro rod, 7'3", medium heavy. Shimano SLX XT reel, 8:2:1 gear ratio. Moving along, again, if you're not new to Tackle Talk, you've seen this before, but I love a swim jig. Swim jig is like my go-to bait as well. So this is my swim jig that I like. This is actually made right here in Virginia by a good buddy of mine, Wolf Spider Baits. He hand ties these and they're wire wrapped. And I have caught over 15 bass with this one swim jig right here. And it still looks like that. I know the eyeballs are missing, but there's nothing wrong with the skirt. All the strands are still there. The hook is still very sharp. I think it's a Mustad hook. Don't hold me to that. I forget what hook is in that. I'll get back with you on that one. But Wolf Spider Baits right here out of Virginia. Makes great jigs. He makes football jigs, skipping jigs, flipping jigs, jig heads, shaky heads, you name it, he makes it. A very soft brush guard on his jigs too, which I really love. I have this one trimmed up, but there's a few other swim jigs I have that I haven't trimmed up and forgot to trim up. And I actually caught fish on them with the wire, you know, the brush guard pretty high up. So that goes to show you how soft the brush guard is. When I run my swim jigs, 100%, almost 99% of the time, I'm running this type of trailer, which is a Zoom Creepy Crawler twin tail trailer. This is a green pumpkin. I have it dipped in chartreuse, and that's my swim jig right there. I caught 11 bass on this in one evening at the campground pond. This is the dark green pumpkin. Wolf Spider calls it for him. That's his color. I have this pair. This is kind of my 3/16 ounce rod and reel setup. It's an old 18. My buddy SP Fishing turned me on to these folks, but they're out of Texas. It's called Old 18. This is a kinetic rod. It's a medium light, 7-foot fast action rod. And this is great for my 3/16 ounce jigs, whether it be finesse jigs, heavy finesse jigs, swim jigs. And it's actually good for an 8 to 3/8 ounce. So, I mean, it's a very versatile rod. I just mainly keep it for my 3/16 ounce stuff. I have it paired with the Shimano SLX XT. This is just the 150 model. Gear ratio 6:3 to 1. Gear ratio. I have Seaguar Basics fluorocarbon line. I think this is 12 pound that I have on here. And like I said, it's a very light setup with this Old 18 kinetic rod. Absolutely love it. Like I said, Wolf Spider swim jigs. Check out wolfspider.com, wolfspiderbaits.com, and Wolf Spider Baits on Facebook. So that's that. Speaking of the swim jigs, we'll stay on that. I also, while we were at the campground, tied on a white Wolf Spider Baits swim jig, and I actually caught a fish on this one as well. This is another 3/16 ounce Wolf Spider Baits swim jig. Color is white. Like I said, I have this brush hog trimmed up pretty short, but it's also pretty soft too. Great hook on this. Also, again, the Zoom, my trailer is the Zoom Creepy Crawler twin tail. The color of the trailer is white, and caught one fish on this one at the campground pond. Was pretty happy to do that. And like I said, his Wolf Spider Baits jigs really hold up. So I also caught on the this plastic here, which you've heard me speak of too. This is the Zoom Super Salt Plus Baby Brush Hog in Blue Fleck. Caught a lot of bass on this between June and July. This is again the baby. Like I said, it's the baby brush hog, color Blue Fleck. I had it Texas rigged when I caught it, the fish on it at the campground pond. I'll go over the setup here. So my setup for this, what I call it the brush hog, the baby brush hog Blue Fleck on, is it's just a loose American Hero reel, a speed spool, laser, AH. Nothing fancy with this reel. It's the only loose reel I own. Everything else I own is the Shimano. Gear ratio on this is 7 to 1 to 1. My rod setup for this is a St. Croix Triumph is the rod. Great rod. I can really feel structure and stuff in the water. Absolutely love it. Like I said, I bought this rod and reel used setup from a good buddy of mine. Ignore the plastic on here, but like I said, I had the brush hog on here, a 3/16 ounce weight, and a 2/0 standard offset worm hook was what I caught the fish on at the pond with the brush hog on it. Also on the Texas rig, one evening, that same setup, the St. Croix Triumph rod with the loose reel, that's also 30-pound braid on that as well. I actually wanted to try a different bait. This is a Yamamoto Cinco 5-inch. This is the Smoke Black and Silver Flake Cinco. It's the 5-inch, and I had it Texas rigged. on that same setup, and I actually caught a bass on it. I was pretty surprised. I had never tried this color before. I just was like, you know what, I want to try it, and I caught a fish on it. It was the only fish, so I didn't slay them on it, but I did catch a fish on this silver smoke, black, and silver flake 5-inch Cinco by Gary Yamamoto. So that was fun, trying something new and catching something on it. So then, all right, so one evening we went out and I wanted to try something new and different. So I had on the Wacky rig. And I wanted to try this gooseberry laminate by Gary Yamamoto. It's a unique color. My buddy told me to try it, and I was gonna try it, and I said, well, let me try it Wacky rigged. And so I tried it Wacky rigged one evening, and we caught like 3 on them one evening. And we actually went back the other evening and had lots of good luck on it. And my boy actually caught his first bass on a Wacky rig. First time ever he caught a bass not on live bait. So that was a pretty proud dad moment and an exciting moment for him and I both to experience. So definitely be sure to check out the Gooseberry Laminate by Gary Yamamoto. It's a 5-inch Cinco. And we tore them up on the Wacky rig. It was 2 evenings in a row we went out there and threw this gooseberry on a Wacky rig and caught them. One evening we caught 3. The next evening he fished it all evening. He lost 5, had 5 hooked, but he was learning setting the hook. And then right before we called it an evening, he hooked one and actually landed that one and got it in the boat. So that was 3, 6, I mean, that was what, 10, 11 fish we had on this in 2 evenings. So be sure to check that out. I had a little bit of luck on the smoke, black and silver 5-inch Cinco. So that was 2 Cincos for the month of July. And then as always, the blue fleck has really been doing me well this year, the month of June and July. This is the Baby Brush Hog by Zoom. Shimano reels, halos. Oh, my Wacky rig setup I didn't even go over. Back to the Wacky rig setup here, which I really don't talk about spinning reels much. I don't throw them much. But this is a Quantum, and I can't even pronounce the model. It's a size 40. I have had this reel since I was in high school. And I graduated in 2012, and I had this thing long before then. So this is a old spinning reel that I have right here. I've actually had this rod a very long time too. I was still in school when I bought this rod. The store I bought this rod from is not even in business anymore. So my rod setup for my Wacky rig is a Daiwa. And it is a 6'6" medium, and it's a Daiwa rod. And I have a VMC 3/0 or 2/0 Wacky rig hook with the weed guard right here, if you can see that, the weed guard. And I use the bands for my Wacky rigs too. So this is my Wacky rig setup. Kind of pretty much the only spinning reel I have rigged up and used is this. I do have more spinning reels, I just don't throw them that much. I'm kind of a power fisherman. I like to throw jigs, Texas rigs. I'm not really much on a drop shot or a fluke or a weightless Texas rig. But anyway, as always, don't forget, check out Ryan Holder Outdoors on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We're also now on Gen 7 Outdoors TV. So go check us out over there. Check out Defense Bait and Tackle. That's my new hat I'm wearing that Defense Bait and Tackle sent me, along with a few baits yesterday. I have that video posted too of the unboxing. But if you go to Defense Bait and Tackle, I have a code for you you can use. It is Join the Team 2026, all capital letters, no spaces. And that'll save you 10% on any of your purchases at Defense Bait and Tackle. I also have a code for Muddy Water Lures, so be sure to check out Muddy Water Lures. I'll leave that code down below. And also don't forget, check out Hooked on Yak Fishing. That's a Facebook group that some buddies of mine and I created for people to share fish pictures, fish stories, fish videos, their kayak setups, their john boat setups, their bass boat setups. But y'all head over to Facebook and check out Hooked on Yak Fishing. That's a pretty awesome group over there. And I think that's about it for July's Tackle Talk, y'all. We had a really good month in July, which I'm surprised. I will say for the end of July, I took the kayak out twice last weekend and didn't even have a bite. So hoping that's not the start to a rough patch for us going into August. Hopefully August will be a better month than what I've had already so far for the last 2 weekends, or last weekend in July. So y'all stay tuned. Ryan Holder Outdoors, thank y'all.